I'm gonna start off with my absolute favorite book, and I know it's annoying at this point, but it is definitely Batman. Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, I can never say enough good things about them. This has just been such an incredible book. The Court of Owls ruled. Night of the Owls just knocked it out of the park. Everything they're coming up with now, the death of the family with the Joker, everything they're teasing, just this book has passion behind it. Both these people are so excited to be on the book. They're excited to give us stories, and I get that in every issue. It rules.
So far, issue 12, I would have to say the best storyline I've come across yet is Batman. Night of the Owls was fantastic. I love how they took this history of a character we know so well and just turned it on its head just a little bit. So now that Gotham is completely different, thus it's completely different to both Batman and Bruce Wayne. He's always got to look over his shoulder because this place that he knew so well is so different than what he thought. Absolutely love it.
My favorite title definitely had to be Batman. When I put this on my pull list, there were so many Batman titles. I was like, which one? I'll just go with Batman. I was recommended that I pick it up because of Scott Snyder, and oh my gosh, I do not regret a single penny spent on this book. From the Court of Owls, my favorite thing about it is just that it's just a different villain to see Batman against, because he's always against, the typical Penguin, Joker, which is cool. I mean, I love them, but I love seeing him go against something else that just completely turns his world upside down. And I can't wait to see what happens. And I just love that it bled into all the other story arcs as well, and goes into all of the other Bat characters in Gotham. It's just such a great storyline.
So I've had a lot of varying opinions over this whole 52 relaunch. Sometimes I've been really surprised. For instance, in the case of All-Star Western by Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray, I did not know I could care about Jonah Hex so much. And Jimmy Palmiotti definitely makes me care so much.
I gotta say, my favorite book out of this entire brand new beginning has to be Justice League. Regular old Justice League, Jeff Johns, and of course Jim Lee on it. I mean, it's what you want in the flagship book for one of the biggest comic book companies. It's the biggest and best characters, having the biggest and best fights with the biggest and best bad guys. The craziest events, the craziest things are going to be stemming out of this book. The first big event that hasn't been already set up after years and years of their regular continuity beforehand is going to be dealing with these guys, the Trinity Wars. So I can't wait to see where this is going. It's been one of the best, just all-around stories out of everything. And then plus they had the Shazam tie-ins where they reintroduced Shazam and Billy Batson and that whole world, and that alone was worth the cover price for Justice League, just to get the backup story. That was enough. It was amazing. Such a great story. I can't wait to see where that goes. So that's definitely has to be my #1 book of the New 52.
Lastly, Green Lantern is my favorite book of all time. And in the New 52, it just continues that way. When the relaunch of DC happened, you thought everything in Blackest Night and everything just would not matter, but Jeff Johns kind of reminded us, at least in the last month or so, that Black Hand and all of the Blackest Night characters have not gone far.
Biggest disappointments, I didn't even get past issue 1 because I was so bummed. Green Arrow, I have no idea why they put Green Arrow against like the D list of villains. So lame, so disappointing. I didn't even care. I stopped. Second one, the Grifter. I love Grifter. What a great character from back in the day of Image. Absolutely loved it. I hated the first issue. I didn't care. I didn't care about the character, didn't care about the story. Done, done, done.
My least favorite thing about the New 52, and man does this pain me to say it, was the Teen Titans book. I can't get behind it, and it hurts me because Teen Titans has been a book that has been on my pull list since I've started reading comics from the very beginning. I love the Teen Titans. I've always loved the idea of the sidekicks forming their own team and being their own superheroes. I mean, as a kid, I loved it. And Scott Lobdell oh man, I don't know how we didn't see eye to eye on this, but I'm just not feeling it, and it pains me. I had to take it off my pull list. I'm hoping that I hear some good things, maybe down the line we'll rekindle this friendship, but right now, doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
My most disappointing title is actually going to be two. One of them is Savage Hawkman. I'm not even going to say anything about it because I read the first issue and I don't even remember what happened in it. That's how much I was disappointed. And my second one was Green Arrow. I was so excited for this title. I love Green Arrow. He's one of my favorite DC characters. And it just didn't feel like I was even reading Green Arrow, aside from the fact that he had some of the lamest villains in it. Just the dialogue, it was just clearly an old person writing an attempt at young dialect, and it just didn't come through.
Justice League, it's been a big letdown. I thought that it was going to be way better. I mean, a team up such as Jeff Johns and Jim Lee, I mean, I felt it was going to be way better, and the story skips around, just way too much for my liking.
My least favorite book out of this entire New 52 was probably a three-way tie with Deathstroke, Birds of Prey, and the Savage Hawkman. Now, two of these books I can for sure tell you is because of Rob Liefeld. That guy's just terrible. He's just bad. He did two great characters, he did a couple cool teams, that was it. He really blew all his load at Marvel in the 90s. He's kind of just been floating around now, and he really did not bring anything new to Hawk or Dove and or Deathstroke, which is a great character, and he pretty much used that as the model for Deadpool, but it did not work. He does not have Wade Wilson in him. He had the other Wade Wilson in him.
One of my probably disappointing picks, but it's not one that I wouldn't read because it's still on my pull list, is Justice League. Back in the 90s, Grant Morrison started JLA again, and I absolutely loved it. That storyline that he created, fantastic. It was great pretty much all the way through. I love the characters they incorporated. It's pretty much the same one as Justice League. The only difference was Martian Manhunter instead of Cyborg. But I absolutely loved the stories where they went. I loved the characters. It was fantastic. I like Justice League. It's pretty good. I like how they started in that all the characters were meeting each other and getting to know each other. I thought that was pretty cool and unique. I'm just not into who they're fighting. I'm not thrilled with the villains. I'm not thrilled with the story. It's okay. I just wish it was better.
One book that I was disappointed by that I'm hopeful now that will get better was Flash. It was just very slow, starting with just a rogue here, rogue there introduction, and it just wasn't as exciting with a new relaunch. But now that the rogues are all together, I have hope that it'll get better.
Biggest surprise book has got to be Animal Man. I really did not think Animal Man was going to be a good book. I had hopes, and I knew he was a great character. Buddy Baker is such an awesome character. Great family man, but also a superhero. And he's had some really great moments in DC history prior. But this whole relaunch with it being a horror tie-in comic and tying in with Swamp Thing, which I did not see coming. I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't really see it coming until it happened. And then, wow, it was really interesting. Animal Man's been one of the better books, hands down. And Jeff Lemire is doing a great job. So is Travel Foreman. He just really fits that book perfectly. It's just creepy and weird and dirty and gross, but still beautiful. And you want to look at it and you want to turn the next page and you want to see that emotion come out. And there's some really great scenes in that book.
Swamp Thing. I didn't actually start reading Swamp Thing. Truth be told, my wife really liked the Swamp Thing, specifically from Wes Craven's movie. So I put it on my pull list. Yes, it was one of those things, cool, I'm a nerd, I'll let my wife, who's not necessarily a nerd, in on it. Holy cow, I started reading it. What a fantastic book. Scott Snyder's writing and where this character is going and the rot, fantastic. Highly recommend it. Definitely a big surprise.
Batman, another big surprise. I thought it was just going to continue the one-off arcs as Batman's been for a long time, but it ended up being really good and it ties together with each arc very well.
The most surprising book out of the New 52, in my opinion, was Frankenstein. And not that I didn't think this book was going to be awesome, because I hoped from the beginning this was just going to be incredible, but I'm surprised that people are still reading it because I didn't think Frankenstein would catch on. I love it. I love that people are getting excited about this book. I love that it's still here. And Jeff Lemire did such an awesome job starting this off, and it looks like it's just in good hands from here on out. But yeah, if you guys aren't reading Frankenstein yet, just pick it up, pick up the trade. This is incredible.
My most surprising title was Aquaman. Oh my gosh, I just put on there in good faith, really. I mean, I know a lot of people made fun of it, but I was like, Jeff Johns is gonna be good. and it was good. And one of the things that you probably won't hear as much as a recommendation, but I loved Mara for this. She just gets stronger and stronger, and she's just one of the coolest characters in DC. And I mean, I know Aquaman is really cool himself, but it's all about Mara for me.
Aquaman, another huge surprise, but I mean, we had to expect it with Jeff Johns writing another origin story.
Another surprise, Aquaman. I think we all know Aquaman is considered a joke. Has been a joke for a long time, just not one of the characters anybody cares about. Jeff Johns totally changed that.
Talked about my favorite book, but I would say an honorable mention for good book is Aquaman, Jeff Johns. So once again, I've never been much of an Aquaman fan, but saw Jeff Johns was going to be on the book, so I picked it up, and this has been an incredible run. You know, this has just been the Aquaman I've been waiting to see my entire life of reading comic books. He's exciting, he's cool. It's not the kind of joke of a superhero that everybody really assumed he was all these years. I mean, he has a good hold on this, good handle, and putting him in an awesome direction. So I can't wait to see what comes in the next year.
Detective Comics, I have liked it story to story, but I do feel it's a little uneven in where it's going. I loved the first issue where we have the Joker's face, and now it's coming back into play. I absolutely love it. I just don't like how it's gotten to where it's going, and it's kind of been a little uneven as it's gotten to the stories and where it's going. I'm not exactly sure I like the villains quite yet. Obviously we have the Penguin, but I'm not exactly sure if I like it as much as I like Batman. I do like how they've included a lot of Harvey Dent stories in the back end on its own separate storyline. I like that. Who knows? Maybe they'll meet up. I would recommend Detective Comics, but not nearly as much as some of the other books that I like.
Now, a book that was one of my favorites, I wouldn't say it was my #1 favorite, but it was definitely up there, definitely an honorable mention, is Action Comics. Now, it's Superman, it's the creator of this whole crazy DC mess, and you have to give him the respect, and this book definitely does. Not only that, but it shows him becoming who he is, like truly, like 5 years prior to anything that you're gonna read. And it just really, really makes you feel for that character. It makes you understand his struggle with becoming more human than he is. He knows that he's not. He knows he's Kryptonian, but he can't really accept that. He can't really flourish in that kind of environment. So he understands humanity is where it's at, and that's what he's here to protect, and that's what he's here to be. And it's just, it's brilliant the way he does it, the way he shows his relationships with his parents, how he raises them, how that influences his life in general, and how his first interactions with super evil beings kind of shapes him later on. And I just can't wait to see where this goes. It's sad that Grant Morrison isn't going to be able to finish it, but Rags Morales on this as well, just kind of that team together just blew it out of the park and made this an amazing, amazing book. So definitely check Action Comics out if you have not.